everyone, it's me Stephanie again, coming to you from Transition Salon at 8124 Kennedy Avenue in Highland, Indiana. Remember, if you want to make a hair appointment or if you have any hair questions, you're welcome to call me at area code 219-838-8910. You've just tuned in to Talking Transitions, the information for the educated consumer, brought to you by an educated professional, me. And I just want to make a PSA really fast, just so you know, we're always looking for the next amazing stylist to join the Transitions team. So if you or someone you know would be interested in a new career here in Highland, Indiana, please give me a call or visit the email address at tacindiana@gmail.com. We also have a website, transitionsaoc.com. Okay, so getting back to the matter at hand, our hair issues. So the last couple of weeks we talked about essential oils and how important they are. Remember, they aren't essential to our everyday living, but they do enhance what we need to grow our hair better. So if you need more information or you want to hear more about it, check out my other videos. Today we're going to talk to the mothers out there, or even the fathers, whoever's doing the kids' hair, okay? We want to talk about these little girls. I love the little girls. I just did a client today. She got her hair braided, her own hair, no extensions added. She got some beads put in. She had a conditioning treatment done. We actually used a detoxing shampoo on her hair to really clean her scalp and get all of that excess oil and grease off of the hair strand. We followed up with a moisture repair shampoo, and then we did a moisturizing conditioning treatment. After rinsing that out, we used a leave-in conditioning treatment, and then I added a moisturizing treatment that's also a leave-in. And then I lightly blow dried the hair just to get the water out and to make the hair manageable. And then I proceeded to braid her hair. The reason why I gave you those steps is because I need you to understand that no matter what the age the child is, and just so you know, the young lady I did earlier today, she was 7 years old. Now, whether they're 0 up to 18 years old, these girls need scalp and hair care. I do not want you to believe that just because they're young and they're growing and they're moving and they're doing all these kid things, that their scalp and hair don't need the same attention that we as adults do. And actually, they need even more attention, especially around that adolescent stage when they're going through puberty, their hormones are changing. You might notice some hair breakage, some hair thinning. You might notice some scalp conditions. We need to be mindful of that. We do not want to have our girls going into the habit of not taking care of their hair, and then they wait until they're adults to try to repair some issues that really could have been rectified years and years ago. So say your daughter is 2 years old, let's say between 2 and 5 years old. Maybe there's a delay in her hair growth. Maybe she has some patchiness going on. Maybe she has a little eczema on her scalp. We need to be mindful of this. There are some essential oils that we mentioned in the last couple of videos that you can definitely cocktail together using a carrier oil to massage into the hair scalp to make sure that that scalp is getting the nutrients that it needs to create a nice environment for the hair growth. Also, no matter what length of the hair it is, you want to comb and brush the hair every single day. Now, I do realize that some of our little girls get the little braids. Again, I just took care of a client today and she got smaller braids in her hair. But every day, her mom is going to be massaging that scalp with some type of oil that she's going to put on her scalp to make sure that it's staying moisturized, that it's not drying out. Because remember, our kids are outside playing in the dirt, in the dust. They're scratching their scalp, they're digging, they're picking. They have a lot of these little habits that they're not really aware of that's going to cause some adverse issues later on. So we want to make sure as parents that we're paying attention to those habits to try to maybe even curtail it a little bit, but if not, come behind it with some aftercare. Hopefully I'm not losing anybody in this. Now, once the little girl gets a little older, like 5 to 10 years old, that's actually when you're probably getting into more of the styles that are lasting 2 or 3 days or even 2 or 3 weeks. Even in those cases, if they're wearing ponytails, do not leave those ponytail holders on that ponytail for weeks on end or days on end, because that dirt and that lint that's collecting around the area where you have the ponytail holder is actually absorbing the oil that the girl needs for her scalp. So not only are you creating this mold, so to speak, around her hair, not the mold that we find in our walls, but the hair is molded together because of the oils and the dirt that's being bound there with that ponytail holder. You're also preventing the hair from breathing. You're preventing the hair from utilizing the oils that the body is actually producing. So we want to make sure that we're taking out those ponytail holders, brushing that hair, massaging the scalp, giving the same care for the hair that we would want for ourselves. Remember, these are little girls becoming young ladies, becoming grown women. So we want to create those healthy habits in the beginning. Also, we have a group of little girls that have this massive amount of hair. Now, if we're not combing the hair, brushing the hair, and training the hair, but then we want to send the little girl to the hair salon and say, here you go, hairstylist, take care of it, and our precious little baby can't take a comb or a brush because her hair or her scalp has not been trained to be combed and to be treated and to be dealt with. So we want to start those good habits early on. Check out those pillowcases. Check out their brushes and their combs. Even the ponytail holders. They are not meant to last forever. That's why one pack costs 99 cents, because they are almost disposable. Okay, so you don't need to hang on to these ponytail holders and barrettes for years on end. Replace those on a regular basis. Those tools are collecting dust, they're collecting germs, they're collecting bacteria. If the hair has been dirty, the dirt has not left that product or that tool, and you're putting that object back on the child's head for her to reproduce more of that germy bacteria on her hair and scalp. So we want to make sure that we're replacing these items. We want to, again, take care of that child's hair the same you would take care of your own hair. And now as the girl becomes, now she's 10, she's 11, she's 12, she's in middle school, she's swimming, she's in sports, her hair is not lasting as long as it used to. Now she wants the older hairstyles. I want you all, parents, I want you to be careful about that, because this is the crucial time that I spoke about in the beginning of the segment. That puberty time, the time when the hormones are everywhere. And it really is not just associated with what we normally think about when we think about the raging hormones, but a lot of changes are going on in the body, okay? A lot of growth is taking place. A lot of things are decreasing, things are increasing. So when we're applying certain chemicals, even if it's a curl, like a Wave Nouveau, or if it's color, or even if it's a relaxer, or maybe a Brazilian blowout, these particular items contain chemicals that might not necessarily go well with what's happening in your child's body at the moment. So a relaxer is not an easy fix. A Wave Nouveau is not an easy fix. You can't expect to apply this chemical and just leave the child be, and then 6 weeks later you're trying to figure out why she has extreme breakage in her hair. That's the most sensitive time of her hair as a child. So you actually need to take more careful attention to that time when you're applying those chemicals to the hair. So in my opinion, it's best that you pull back on the chemical application, maybe stretch out your relaxer treatments or your Wave Nouveau treatments. Color is pretty much the same thing because it is a chemical that's altering the condition of the hair strand, and it could also cause breakage. It can also cause dryness in the hair and the scalp as well. So if you're going to apply these chemicals, be mindful that you have to take extreme care of that hair. She needs to visit the salon on a regular basis. So it's an investment, parents. It's just not just a one-time do it and then you're done for another 3 to 6 months, or even if you expect your child to take care of their own hair. If you have not educated the child, if you have not walked the child through the process and actually respected the child's knowledge enough to explain what's going on, even on a more specific level, so that they can have more respect for their hair, so that they can have more respect for the way that they look. But it starts with us as parents. It starts with us being educated, and then we can pass that education down to our children. Even with the boys, we can't just, because the hair is short, that they don't have to shampoo their hair, that they don't need to condition their hair, that they don't need to moisturize their hair. Boys need love too. They need their scalp taken care of. They need regular shampooing. They need conditioning. They need regular haircuts. They need this not only for the care of their scalp and hair, but they also need it for their self-esteem. So parents, please don't forget about our boys. So for the girls and the boys, we want to make sure that we're giving the same amount of attention to their hair that we'll give to our own hair. Don't leave those ponytail holders in too long. Please don't leave those braids in too long, parents. Oh my goodness. It is so unhealthy for the hair. You don't know how many times I have had to comb out growing dreadlocks out of a child's hair because a parent left the braids in too long. If you cannot afford to keep up a certain style, please do not misinvest your money. Understand what the child's needs are and allow those needs to match your budget so that the child's hair can grow healthy, they can feel good about themselves, and when they're able to take care of themselves on their own, they're knowledgeable, they're educated, and they're ready to tell their own story. Thank you so much for tuning in to Talking Transitions. As always, I pray that this information has been of a help to you and that you will have the opportunity to share the information with others. Never forget, your hair and their hair is the glory. Let it tell its own story. Each person's hair is unique. It has something to say, so let it speak. Until next time, have a good night, everyone.